Hi everyone, this is Anna Maria from Physio Pilates by Anna Maria. Someone posted that they wanted to know what are my go-to exercises for treating sacroiliac joint pain, SI joint pain for short. There are lots to do and they can be split into opening exercises, so stretching type of exercises, and they can also be done for strengthening. So I'll show you my favorite ones for opening up a little bit the joint and maybe releasing a little bit of pressure, and one that can be contributing to making the position on your joint a bit more asymmetric. So sometimes we'll have a tightness in our QL muscle that might lift the pelvis a tiny bit, and that causes a little bit more load on that side. So I'll show you that as well. And one exercise which I use to try and start getting a bit of control into that sacroiliac joint in the very early stages. There's a lot more than this. So again, my online Pilates program, we focus a lot on the different positions and things that will really help contribute to improve coordination, control, and strength in your sacroiliac joint, as well as all the other joints that will help to get everything symmetric in your body. But these are my go-to sacroiliac joint exercises. So the first one, I like lying on the back, which is very simple. And if anyone is not familiar with what the sacroiliac joint is, it's basically the joint between where your sacrum at the end of your spine articulates with your pelvis. And it's a joint that doesn't move too much. There's not too much movement in it, but it does create some discomfort in the lower back. A lot of people think it's just the two dimples on the underside, but that's where we feel symptoms most of the time. So this one I like because it gaps a little bit the joint. So if you have any issues with nerve impingement around that area, or maybe the capsule is a little bit irritated, this I like to do. So lying on your back, so say your problem is your left, I straighten my right leg, pull the left leg up, and then pull it with my right hand over. So it feels like a glute stretch, but actually it really opens up and gaps that joint. Now what you want to do is keep your shoulders down and just move your upper leg away. Now what I like to do as well is combine it with what we call contract relax. So once you're in that position, so first you hold it for a few breaths, I would say. I don't like saying minutes or seconds, it's mostly breaths, so you let your body relax. And then once you've done it for a few breaths, just keep the top hand on top of the outside of your left knee and try and push that left knee up into the hand without moving much, and then hold it for 10 seconds. Once those 10 seconds are over, relax completely, then pull it more with your right, towards the right. So you're pulling it more towards the right. So again, you're holding it there, and you're going to repeat that again, pushing into your hands as hard as you can for 10 seconds. And then you relax completely, and then you pull it towards the right. And you're still wanting to keep that chest touching the back of the mat or the floor, wherever you're doing it, and you're looking up, so you're really just opening and rotating that side. And one more time, you push up, 10-second hold, and then you relax and you pull. So you only pull when you relax. And then you come back. Another one I like doing is your pelvic rocks. This tends to also articulate with your lower back. So it's just about pressing that lower back into the floor and then arching forwards, getting that stiffness to go away. And then my other go-to exercise is going into a modified pigeon. And we're going to focus on the left being the problem. So we go into 4-point position, and a modified pigeon is you're going to bring your left knee forward. You want to rotate your leg so that the shin is parallel. If you're using a mat, to the short end of the mat, you want to keep it there. And if you cannot lower yourself down, it's okay. But if you can, curl your right toe and then start lowering yourself down. And try and keep your hips pointed down. This will stretch the capsule around the hip and also a little bit more opening for your sacroiliac joint. You can either stay there or lower yourself down and just hold yourself in that position. Again, a few breaths. You can think about it as a normal stretch. So you either do 3 sets of 10 seconds or hold 30 seconds. But I really just like doing it with breath. So I take 5 or 6 breaths and stay in this position. And then when you're ready, come back up, walk back in, and uncurl your foot. So those are my opening exercise. Now the stretch that doesn't have to do too much with the sacroiliac joint but can be a contributing factor is a stretch for your QL. Now I have a whole video on stretching that out, but this is my favorite. And this is into mermaid stretch. So you've got your legs are forwards, then you drop them down towards the right. You have left at the back, and you're going to put your right hand down and you lift up and open your left hand, and you want to sink your left hip down and open your right hand up, and you want to hold it there. Take a few breaths and then slowly come back up. And again, you repeat it a few times just to get that mobility open. And my last one exercise, this would then be some strengthening work, which will be in supine, and then you can change it in different positions. So again, if we're talking about the left, we are going to lie on your back. We're going to find your center, and this is called the hip twist in your Pilates. So you want to try and keep that pelvis nice and steady. You want to keep that back in neutral position, ribs in line with hips, and your pressure is on the back on your tailbone. So imagine you're holding a glass of water onto your belly, and you're just going to open that left knee out to the side without lifting the opposite side, and then come back. And again, open, and then come back. And again, open. So this is about creating control in your core when your leg is rotating out. And in and out. The same thing I would do as an exercise for strengthening is a one leg stretch, where you stretch away without arching your back and then come back. So again, these are two exercises, simple exercises that you can do to start strengthening after you would have opened the joint out if you have some stiffness in it. And again, so you want to have a bit of strengthening work, not just stretching work only. And again, you can alternate between the legs and the control of holding the pelvis nice and steady whilst you're changing between one leg and the other, whether it is in this vertical plane or in this horizontal plane. It's all about control work, and that will really help focus on strengthening your sacroiliac joint. So those were my go-to exercises. I hope you find them useful. But I do have a whole video on stretching out the side of your waist if you want to. I will put a link in the description underneath this video. And as I said, my online Pilates program also goes through all of these exercises, not just for a sacroiliac joint, but for all ailments that you might have, and it will strengthen your whole body really. So if you want more information about that, head over to www.physiopilatesbyam.co.uk/Pilates. Thank you for watching, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment below. Bye bye.